You are listening to the Gate 7 International Podcast, a podcast connecting Olympiacos fans from Melbourne to Baltimore, from London to Piraeus. We are 4 Olympiacos fans from every corner of the world, bringing you news and interviews of the team you love in English. With new episodes twice a week, you'll never lose the latest updates and stories of the team you love. This is our team, our city, and our land. Man Aoni Rotrello. You're listening to the Gate 7 International Podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our live stream, our pregame stream here for Spain versus Greece. My name is Peter Thompson of the Gate 7 International Podcast. I've got my good friend and frequent guest of the podcast, Steve Kudulu from Elas Footy. He is joining me here. We're going to chat about the game. Thank you to everyone who's already showed up. The lineup has just come out officially. It is what the rumors have told us. I don't know about you folks, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Steven, what are your takes here?
I'm not happy, as my grandma would say. I'm not happy. Because first this was the lineup that is out now was the one that was first rumored to be the starting lineup to play Spain. And then we were all like, oh no, please no. And then I think like half an hour ago, there was another lineup that came out on, I can't remember what website we found it on, but it was a lineup you'd want to see. Like, you know, you'd have Giakoumakis up front. It'd be 4-2-3-1, which is a bit of a risk against Spain. But, you know, Fortounis was starting. I think Mavropanos was starting. And Mavrias was starting, which, you know, is a bit of a mixed bag anyway. But, yeah, this is the lineup we've got. And, oh, dear.
It's poor, man. It's really poor.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
And like I honestly, like, I'm an idiot as well. Like, I saw the bad lineup, the one that we got this morning, and I was like, no, that can't be it. No way. But like, oh my goodness, we've actually gone ahead and started this lineup. So for folks who haven't seen it, and if I'm a graphics wizard, we'll get it posted up as well. But Vlachodimos in goal, Tsimikas at left back. Of course, Giannoulis is not going to play. Good start,
you know. Yeah.
That's a good start. Savela center back.
We expected this though. Like, yeah, we were never going to get Mavropanos and Papadopoulos up front. We're never going to get them both, unfortunately.
What do these guys have to do to get in the team? Like Mavropanos, I mean, like, yes, we've discussed, like, okay, he hasn't played a lot of minutes, but like, you got to see what we can get here. Anyway, Tzavelas and Kyriakos Papadopoulos, which, I mean, Hatzidiakos injured. The only other option at center back besides Mavropanos was Svarnas. So I kind of expected to see Kyriakos in there, even though he literally plays for the worst team in Croatia. Risto, how does JVS pick his lineup? Form, talent, or a dartboard? I think it's like a dartboard, except he shoots the darts towards the names his agent tells him to.
It's like, and he's already picked Bakasetas.
And Bakasetas has like a huge like portion of the board, so it's very easy for him to hit. Alex, I don't know about that one, mate. I don't know about that. I know he used to play for Tripoli. I know that, but no, I don't think we're getting this anyway. The right back is Bakakis, which that's a head scratcher for me. Bakakis wasn't originally called up. And so you think he's not going to be his first choice. It's going to be Mavrias or Antroutsos. And he calls Bakakis. He says, Bakakis, you went from not being in the team to starting. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. There's Costa. Here he is. Yeah. Good thing Gramenos out in like 2 days, people. That's nice.
Yeah, it's coming. Guys, it's coming.
Yeah. The midfield, Bouchalakis and Zeka.
Okay.
With Mantalos. Okay. That's all right. I would have picked Fortounis, but I'm not going to be like super upset with Mantalos in there. That's okay.
It's not
and
terrible.
Then the front three, Masouras, which is a head scratcher for me, Limnios, and the grand finale at striker, Bakasetas. We've got Giakoumakis with like 20 goals, and he doesn't even
one of
the
top scorers in Europe.
He doesn't get in.
That would be like, I know it's a bad comparison, but I remember 11 years ago when Greece were getting through the 2010 World Cup qualifiers. And obviously at the time we had Fanis Gekas, who was top scorer of the qualifiers. And he was, it's like the equivalent of dropping him. It's like if we didn't play him. Why, firstly, why is, we know why Bakasetas is playing, but why up front? Even Pavlidis would be a better choice.
It doesn't make any sense. Now, I should say Bakasetas, I think him at striker is better than him in the midfield, I have to say.
That's
I prefer him on the bench or him as a second striker. Because for me, what Bakasetas is good at, he's got a decent strike on him. He does. We have to say it. He can hit the ball. He scores in Turkey. He's like never scored for the Ethniki, but he scores in Turkey, probably under a different system. I don't know. I don't watch the teams he plays for out there, but G Sots, he's definitely better at striker than Cam, that's for sure. Yeah, because as a Cam, he's required to do things that he's just not capable of, folks. Like being creative, making the ball that nobody else sees. That's not what he does. He's good at the short, tight window passes. And so that's kind of why I can see him working as a second striker, like with a Giakoumakis in a 4-4-2. And that's just not what we see right now because he's up there by himself. I think the angle JVS is going for here is we're not going to possess. We're just going to Fetanos. At least Bakasetas now has 10 players to pass back to. That's jokes. That's funny. Oh my God.
Maybe
seriously,
it's I don't know. Maybe it's he's almost a false nine, maybe, and then you have Masouras and Limnios who he'll pass the ball to.
But they're not producing goals. Where are the goal? Like, if we hope to clearly it's just like he's just given up on the idea of scoring goals. And like he's just thinking, oh, Bakasetas will apply the pressure on the Spanish back line and make it difficult for them. Like, I just don't. You think Sergio Ramos is sweating Bakasetas running at him, guys?
Oh, yeah, for sure, mate. He's going to be sweating at Bakasetas passing back. He's going to be watching him go in the opposite direction. Like, wow, this guy's really good.
Oh, my God. It's ridiculous, man. For folks who haven't seen the Spanish lineup, and I've actually just seen it here, they've got young goalkeeper Unai Simon, who plays for Athletic Club. So David De Gea is on the bench. At left back, they've got Jose Gaya, who plays for Valencia. At the center backs, they've got Ramos and Eric Garcia, the young Manchester City player.
Time for Barca as well, Eric Garcia now, I think.
He is now, okay.
Yeah, he's a Barca player, but he won't be a Barca player until the summer.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I know he used to be in their academy, and so he's back with Barcelona. Talented youngster, understands the game very well. Probably also will not have to worry about Bakasetas. And then Marcos Llorente at the right back. People might remember him from his performances in the midfield with Atletico Madrid in the Champions League last year. He's actually been playing as a right back for them, and so that's what he does today. The midfield is very strong. You've got Koke from Atletico Madrid. You've got Rodri from City, and you've got Dani Olmo, who on the Super Greeks podcast, Costa and I were discussing how he might be the most dangerous player in that team. And then, or actually, Olmo might be on the wing, and then we might have Sergio Canales in the midfield as well. And then Alvaro Morata and Ferran Torres make up the rest of the front three.
Yeah, we know Ferran Torres all too well from when we played Man City.
He's a player as well. He was out of position and killing us, and he's going to be out on the wing. He's gonna wreak some havoc. G Sots, talking about Bakasetas, according to Transfer Market, majority of his success as a second striker. There we go, people. This is like he's not a horrible player, but we just don't play the system. This is why he's played like 50 games for Greece. And he scored one goal that wasn't a penalty, and then he scored a penalty as well recently.
That's the problem with Bakasetas. Like I guess you could argue his form in Turkey does warrant him getting called up, but it's just that we're not frustrated because he's not deserving of a call up. It's just the way in which he is being deployed is wrong. If you want to play a system with Bakasetas, as has been shown on Transfermarkt, you play him as a second striker, either in a 4-4-1-1 just behind the striker, or you play him in a 4-4-2.
Yeah.
But he's been played in attacking mid, he's been playing on the wing, he's been playing by himself. and I don't think he does a lot by himself, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
And he's going to help him. Masuras, who sometimes scores great goals, sometimes misses great sitters.
Masuras can't hit the side of him. He actually did score at the weekend, to be fair to him, but I don't really trust him today. Michael Vicini gives us a fun fact. Spain has not lost a World Cup qualifier in 63 matches. Is that real? 63, not a single one. Okay, well that's good.
I can't recall them not qualifying for a World Cup, so you must. I mean, Michael's good with these. Michael's good with the facts, man. So I trust him.
Well, interesting. Viva la Roja. I mean, to be fair, if Spain wins by enough, JVS gets fired. That might be the best thing for Greece in the long term. No,
but the thing is, like, it's not. That's the thing. It won't be a shock if we lose to Spain. So I can't see this being.
We have to lose 10-0. We'd have to lose 10-0.
Yeah. To be fair, if it was like an embarrassing loss, anything above 4-0, that's embarrassing. Like 4-5-0, even 6, that's embarrassing. But then we'd have to lose to Georgia for him to get sacked or something. And I don't want to lose to it. No disrespect to Georgia. I don't want to lose to Georgia. I really don't want to lose to them.
Yeah, I don't know.
And interestingly, like, I know we're worried about Sweden, but Sweden's form has been patchy. And I know they're getting Zlatan back, but Sweden are a really inconsistent team. And at least with us, like, we're not losing a lot of games. Like, we're drawing games that we shouldn't be drawing. But there's a chance that maybe.
Yeah,
second,
we'll
maybe
see.
more realistic. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
They play Georgia today. As Alex says here, our only hope is that they draw. That would be a good result and encouraging. But I mean, as well, Stephen, like, we don't play Sweden until September, October.
Yeah, a long time.
Think of everything that could happen in that time. Like,
more injuries.
It's really hard to predict both sides as well. Like Zlatan, I mean, he's very good, but he's older.
He'll be 40. He'll be 40 years old.
So who's to say he's going to be healthy? It's tough to say. GSOTs, it's like JVS has no idea who his players are, who just tosses in there, whatever. Yeah. No, it's actually pretty ridiculous. I'm just astounded that Bakasetas goes up top.
Yeah, that's the big one for me. Like, overall, upon like sitting back and looking at this team, like, okay, Bagagis really, like, I know he's the only true right back we have, but okay, I guess it's okay because he knows the role well, but then I'd rather see Androutsos play there, or I don't know, Mavrias I don't really want to see there anyway, so I guess Bagagis isn't terrible. And then Zavelas, like I said, we knew we would play there. Mandalos as an 8. I don't know how much I haven't seen much of AEK outside of us playing them, so I don't really know.
I've heard Mandalos has been in good form. That's what I've been told.
Like, that's fine. It's just whether he can play as an 8 or not. Because I know he's more of a 10 traditionally, so it's just we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Costa here says, "Happy Independence Day." Yes.
Oh yes, Happy Independence Day. 200
years. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Zito y Elada. Did I say that right?
I think
Ronya Pola. Anyway, Fetanos, I don't know, Havras Ferij. If we don't beat the fake Finland, we can just pack our bags and change sport.
Fake Finland.
I like that. Christo says, sorry if I missed this, but how does Bakakis go from not on the team to starting? I did bring it up briefly. I don't have an answer for you. It's pretty ridiculous. He's
so undeserving. He's so undeserving that he deserves it. I think that's why.
It's just hilarious to me that JVS goes from, no, you don't need to be in the team. We'll go with Mavrias and Androutsos. And then he says, no, I want to start you. Like, what?
I'm looking at
it makes no sense.
He's made 12 appearances this season. So he's been inconsistently part of the first team squad. I guess inconsistently, I should say. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I think it's just the problem with Greece is that we just have such a shortage of right backs, like true right backs who are good. Whereas on left back, we've got like 3, maybe 4 that you could call upon if one gets injured, like we've seen with Jan Nulis, who probably would have played, but now we have Tsimikas instead.
And this is the thing, like Kostas says it here, like literally Svarnas is going in at right back because Bakakis is so bad. Like, and Iker just sore of a right back right now. Kostas Papadimitriou, I think Dimitriou, says prediction for the game. I will say 3-0. I will say 3-0.
I said on the Hellas Football Podcast on Tuesday, I said 2-0, and I stick by that. I think it'll be 2-0 to Spain, not to Greece.
Well, to be honest, yeah, to be honest with you, Spain could they might score 1 or 2 and get content. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, and you know what? If we come out of this and get 0-0, that's a great result because it's still Spain, and it would have been a solid enough start to the qualifiers to get anything from Spain in these 2 games is a good thing.
Yep. G-Sots, he could have called up Kitsi or Kotsiras or Yorgos Masouras, or I think you mean Yanni Masouras, but I would have wanted. I would have wanted Yanni Masouras. That would have been he's been playing in Poland, apparently doing well. I would have wanted to see him over Bakakis. Bakakis we know is doing poorly. Fetanos, can we get past the halfway line? No.
Maybe you'll see Lemnios will try.
Lemnios could do, but he's been out of form as well, man. It's not to say that I don't think there's anyone that should have been picked over him, but like he's not been playing a lot out in Germany, man.
Yeah, I think it's a similar thing that we've seen a bit with England with Gareth Southgate and when he picks players, and it's based on sometimes it is just based on how they perform for the Ethniki.
No, that's fair.
And in fairness, Limnos has been good. It's just that he gets run into the ground because even in friendlies, JVS just plays him, and I just think if you really value him as a star of this side, you should rest him for the games that you deem not important, like a friendly against Honduras. which didn't really need to be there in the first place. And play him in the games that matter, like this one, or the next game against Georgia.
Yeah, totally. We've got a third member here coming on, another friend of the program, wearing the beautiful blue and white short shirt there. Vimo, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
You're in and out. You're in and out, Vimo. Talk again.
Hello.
That's better. Okay, wonderful. How are you feeling today, my friend?
I just saw the lineup, so you can guess.
You happy too? You happy?
So the silver lining, because I've been off the JVS bandwagon, if you even had a bandwagon. I've been off the game for a while. Just after the amount of times where he tried things out in friendlies and things looked good, he tinkered, and then when he'd go to actual competitive games,
never see it.
Yeah, all the things that we with the 4-3-3 against Cyprus, where Bakasetas and Fortounis were playing side by side, so that there was actually room for Fortounis to join in and attack. Like that looked good. We played 5 at the back one time, and Bouchalakis was the lone DM, and he was kind of working the ball against Austria. That looked pretty good, but then
even just playing Yakumakis scored the goal in a friendly and looks great.
Yeah,
and I think Solis, did he score one as well, or did he get an assist?
Yeah, Solis played very well in that game, and he played good in his natural role in the left wing. And then when it comes to the next Nations League game, what do we see? We see Solis at striker, Puntas, the back to goal 9, playing left wing, Fortounis either playing left wing or false 9, anything except for the 10 where he belongs, and just train wreck after train wreck. The whole back line, Manolaf, Socrates situation, it just the list was on. So seeing this lineup, I was hoping Andrutos wouldn't get the start because Andrutos has a bright future ahead of him. He's looking good. So I'm thinking don't play him in this game because I'm worried that this is going to be like the sacrificial lamb lineup. So the fact that Fortounis is out,
Bakakis
out, like all the guys that we want to see playing, and the what should be the core of this national team, the fact that they're out, it's the silver lining.
Question from Lambro here. Should Olympiacos stop sending its Greek players on national duty if JVS continues as coach? I think the only reason the only reason to stop sending players on national duty would be like just as a blanket thing for all the players, and because of like the pandemic. I would say like, no, you're not allowed to go because it really screwed us over in the fall. But like, I don't know. I think like it's not too much of a harm. Bouchalakis gets to play. I'm not sure. That's my personal opinion. I don't know what you guys think.
I've half kind of said this before. Like, as important as it would be for Socrates to come back to the Ethniki, I almost want to be super selfish Olympiacos fan and just be like, no, like he can stay with us. Like you can have Manola can come back, but Socrates, give him an extra couple years playing club football rather than playing for the national team. But like when it comes to Greece, I would like to see both of them in the lineup. Obviously, I think it just comes down to whether they want to get called up or not. If they have the national pride to go and play for the Ethniki, then they should be allowed to do so. And Pedro Martins isn't going to stop them. Marinakis isn't going to stop them unless they have a concrete reason why. And under normal circumstances without COVID, maybe it wouldn't have been as big an issue as it was this season, because it did mess us up for a little bit.
Yeah, well, and there was like a lot of talk related to coronavirus, obviously, with like I think Klopp and like maybe Antonio Conte as well. I can't remember, Vimo. Maybe you would remember better, but like a lot of managers considering just not letting any of their players go. So
a big talk. Klopp had been a massive.
Vimo, you're a bit in and out there, my friend. The mic is.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
that's better.
Okay. Yeah. So what I was saying was that I mean, Klopp has every right to kind of be annoyed about that. Look what's happened to them this season for all the injury trouble. So like throwing national teams would be a potential COVID exposure. Like it's a no-brainer why you it. For purely success for Olympiacos, it makes sense to keep Socrates out of it. Say, well, the national team doesn't want him, we'll keep him. But in terms of like, for example, we're about to play Spain. I think a pretty good amount of people are going to tune in to see all these big names play for the national team in Spain. This lineup beat Germany 6-0.
Yeah,
a pretty friggin' strong Germany on paper.
Mm-hmm.
So I can only imagine a good amount of people are going to be tuning in. So for the sake of the Ethniki and for the sake of the players that play for Ethniki, I think if we had a good showing, people would be like, oh, these guys are pretty good. Let's see what happens. But of course, that's not the case. We don't have to worry about that. So keep that in mind.
We've got Fetanos again. Is our bench better than our starting 11?
Partially, yeah.
What's the best lineup we get from our bench? Diuris in goal, Kyriakopoulos, Mavropanos, Sfaranas, Androutsos. The midfield is pretty dire. In fact, it might need Mavrias on the right and move Androutsos into the midfield if we're just building a team from only the bench, because it's Siopis. And if it's Siopis, Androutsos, Fortunis. And actually, we'd have to do like Yakumakis on the right, Pavlidis up top, Choris on the left. That team honestly might be, that might be better. I think.
It's crazy.
You play them right.
Ridiculous.
Lineup's obviously a little different because it's Spain, but
man, he thinks we're gonna actually have a shot at keeping Spain from scoring goals with Bakasetas like as the pressing striker. Like, you think fucking Sergio Ramos is scared of Bakasetas pressing him?
He's not even a good presser. Like, when we seen him at the 10, he should be supporting the striker in the press the way Fortunis does and cutting off passing. He doesn't do any of that stuff. Like, you guys have gone off on him as many, like, time and time again about how useless he is attacking wise. But when I'm watching him when we're in our defensive shape, it's his job to support whichever way the striker passes or puts on the press and kind of join in. All he does is he lets passes go by. He doesn't cut off passing lanes. He doesn't press. He doesn't man mark. He just holds that number 10 position, whether it's on offense and Fortunis is trying to make a play the way they're attacking. And then defensively, when he needs to go support either the midfielders or the winger or the striker in the press, he doesn't do it. All he knows how to do is stay in that hole. And it's the most aggravating thing about this FP.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing as well, like, I think it's the question everyone's asking, like, and we sort of touched on it already. When does JVS get the axe, assuming things don't go well? That's what we have to start asking. I don't think Steven made the good point. I don't think it's going to be today.
No, unless we get pumped. If we get pumped, then maybe. But
Georgia, like, we better win 3-0 and look convincing. Like, it's Georgia, guys. I'm looking at the Georgia lineup to play Sweden today, and don't really recognize any of these players, to be honest with you. No disrespect, but I don't recognize a single name in that team. The one Georgian player I know, Ninua for PAOK, isn't even on there. But
the only thing I'm really worried about, though, Peter, is that it's just going to be another Michael Skibb when he got the sack and it was already too late to salvage anything. And I just feel like that's what's going to happen.
This campaign is in the mud. But like, if we get someone in, we start #fire JVS if today's a shit show. Konstantinos Routsis, go Elas, happy International Day. Damn right. Happy Greek Independence Day, 200 years. Good shout. I'd rather lose to Faroe Islands than watch Baka. No. Be careful what you wish for, mate.
No,
be careful what you wish for, mate.
No, that match will always haunt me. It's the worst football matchup. It's one of my least favorite football matches of all time. I was embarrassed after that result. I couldn't believe it. We lost at home to a nation with 300,000 people.
Funny story, guys. So this is a good old story, and I'm going to tell it because Lambro's not here, although Lambro might be listening to the live. But we were on an intramural team when we were in undergrad at Maryland a few years ago, and it was like the Greek Heritage Society team. So it was like a bunch of Greek people and me on the team, and we had like our chat, and we were in the finals, and one of the kids like posted a video of like Greece versus Portugal highlights from 2004 and was like, "Come on, boys, let's do this." And like Lambro, as a joke, posts in the video the highlights of Greece losing to the Faroe Islands, and he's like, "Come on, guys, yeah." And the other kid gets like super pissed off. He's like, "Delete that right now." Like Lambro had to be like, "Oh, sorry guys, wrong video, my bad." Like,
honestly, no. That game was dreadful. I mean, I'd rather bring a player out of retirement to play today than lose to Faroe Islands again.
Do you have a specific player in mind?
I don't know. Just
Maniatis takes a day off from coaching Panionios.
Well, Maniatis plays up front instead. Maniatis comes.
Maniatis could play. Torosidis. Vimo. Torosidis comes back.
Torosidis. I mean, he'd probably do better than Mavrias and Bakagis. Yeah.
Torosidis in the Greek Cup final, basically this season, showed that he could cross in one hell of a ball.
Yeah. Great cross.
People forget that.
To be doing. Whether or not his body can do it's another thing, but at least he will understand what he's supposed to do. But yeah, not that matters.
Bakakis is. I still like. Christo said it when he came on as well. Like the fact that Bakakis is originally not selected and then starts. I can't make sense of that. I can't at all. Like what? JVS had like mood swings the day he was picking the lineup and decided like, oh, time for Bakakis. Like bizarre, absolutely bizarre for me. I can't. That was the one pick that I was like truly just surprised by. Like Bakakis. One, I think it was Adi, and maybe he said this before the injury, but Adi expected Svarnas to start at right back.
I'm glad we haven't seen that. I'm glad we haven't seen Svarnas at right back. I mean, who knows? We'll probably see that against Georgia. Now that I've said it, I've tempted fate. But yeah, we'll probably see
Georgia. We've got to go with an ultra defensive lineup. We've got to sit back. They've got some big threats.
Yeah, they're just as good defensively as Moldova. Like they're just as big a defensive powerhouse.
Shout out Moldova, by the way. They're going up against our arch rivals, the Faroe Islands. Our boy Oleg, starting.
Come on, Oleg.
Oleg,
cross in.
Do it for Greece. Do it for Greece.
I'll take that as a win for Greece if Moldova
wins and Oleg, the Moldovan Lightning, puts in some crosses. We'll have Adi do the Y Scout on that game and see how many crosses he put in after the fact.
Nice.
Alex Koutakos, if we win this game, we all switch our logos to a photo of JVS. You know what? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't really see that happening. So I'm more than happy to say that.
I want to be proved wrong by JVS and this team that's out right now. I want to be proved wrong because my expectations are so low that if we win somehow, it's incredible and I'll be happy, and that's a perfect way to start the qualifiers. But yeah, all right then, Alex. I'll change my thing to a picture of JVS.
I just
if we win.
The thing with JVS is like I like the formation. I like some of the stuff he does, but like it just seems so easy to pick players from my perspective. Like how, with what he knows, with what we've seen in friendlies, with what we've seen in domestic form, it seems like it should be so easy to just pick a goddamn team. And he just fails every single time to appropriately pick a team. I mean, it's beyond me.
Yeah, I mean, it's national team. These guys aren't together a full preseason,
exactly,
all year, so that you don't have time for like Guardiola to implement this intricate system where the winger Messi's playing as a false nine, strikers in Eto'o and Henry are playing as wingers, and David Villa. Like,
right? It's just simple. 4-2-3-1. Just put the best players out there.
Yeah, it's bread and butter. Everyone has a good kind of sense of it. And in terms of personnel selection, you see what these guys play week in and week out for their club teams. Why not play them in those positions? Because they'll already be comfortable and they'll already be familiar with their role. Like, how many games do we have to see Fortunis dominate teams at the 10 for JVS to think, maybe I should play him there? But
or Bakasetas, when you realize he's a second striker in a 4-4-2. Just because he's in good form, you can, okay, it's valid if you want to play a 4-4-2 and get him in there. That's maybe a valid choice, depending on who you put around him. That could be a good team. But you can't just say, oh, he's a good player, he'll make it work, and throw him out there. Like, it has not worked.
And move every other player that could be playing in that position out of position. Just
to satisfy him.
He's also not natural.
And he's not in position. It's
the amount of headache.
Yeah. He's being played like our talisman player, when our talisman player, arguably being Fortunis, is on the bench. Like, we should be building a team around him. And Giakoumakis as well. Like, they complement each other so well. And yet, for some reason, it's
bangs in goals for a living. Like, I don't...
Runs and he looks for service. And Fortunis is the king of picking his head up and looking for runs.
Yes.
That's his bread and butter. Like,
yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. I have to say, yeah, I don't know. I think what he's trying to do is play defensively, but like we said, like, is Bakasetas even going to help us out that much with that? I don't really think so. So I'm very clueless. The game starts in about 10 minutes. We're gonna go live, or we're gonna stop going live, I should say, when the game starts. And then we'll probably record the podcast with it'll be me and the usual hosts in the afternoon to chat about the game. But yeah, I mean, if there's any other questions, feel free to throw them in, share the stream. So anyone who hasn't seen can get in their last 10 minutes. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at once right now. So Christo need a moment of magic in this game, and Bakasetas is not doing that. Love Vimo.
Yeah, if we have any shot at creating any kind of opportunity, it's going to be a guy that needs to release our wingers in 1 or 2 touches and actually understand how to turn and face upfield. And Ari's shown the stats to say that he can't do that, even against Moldova, even against what are the teams played?
Yeah, Kosovo as well. Yeah,
Slovenia.
Yeah, Slovenia. He doesn't know how to. Wide open in the midfield, no one on his back. He doesn't know to just head check and then turn and look upfield. Can't do it. So how are we supposed to do it when Spain's insane pressing system that pinned a midfield of Gundogan? What were the other 2 Germans? Goretzka and what's his name? Household names that are fantastic players.
Was it Havertz?
And was it Tony Cruz as well? Is Tony Cruz still playing for the national? Yeah.
I'll look it up right now, guys. Hold on.
Honestly,
6-0.
They had Timo Werner.
So it's Kroos, Gundogan, Goretzka, and then a front 3 of Gnabry, Sane, and Werner. World-class players. Hi, Ian Chambers.
Yeah, and that team, that lineup with Neuer in goal and Sula at center back, who's no slouch and a good replacement for the old core at Bayern Munich. Those guys got walked off the field, embarrassed.
Yep, Ferran Torres scored a hat trick.
Every one of those.
What's he going to do against Taveras?
Yeah, it wasn't even Spain's starting 11. De Gea's on the bench. Kepa, although he's been I mean,
You want to look at their bench.
Kepa's not even with them.
Alba didn't start. Thiago didn't start.
They've got
Pedri's on the bench.
They've got Sergio Busquets. They've got Jordi Alba.
Fabian
Thiago's on the
Ruiz.
bench.
that pummeled that Germany 6-0.
Yeah.
Every single player on that German team, position for position, is better than what we're building today. Like, without a doubt. And I don't know, hopefully this formation just on paper is a 4-3-3, and it's actually I don't know, one goalkeeper, 6-5, all of them staying in the box. I was joking with Adi about that. I feel like that's our best chance to get a result. Just no one leave the 18. Keep them all in there. Because it's gonna be so ugly.
Well, I'm surprised. I think it was you guys that spoke about it, Peter. About potentially playing a similar formation that Olympiacos played against Arsenal, like a 5-2-3 or like a 3-4-3. I almost expected that, and I thought that
I did
that
too,
would
yeah.
suit. It keeps a nice shape, and you have the ability to counterattack, as we saw in the Emirates last week. So, you know, I mean, he could have taken a leaf out of Olympiacos' book and done it like that, or played a similar formation when he first came, and we played Italy.
It would have been good for Androutsos, man. But
It would have been. Yeah,
if he wants to play
formation like that.
Bakakis.
They played a 5-3-2 against Austria, and it didn't look bad. Like in the second half, AVS was tinkering, and it looked pretty good. But it wasn't a competitive game, so when competitive, JVS has to.
PX Houdini makes a very good point. Guys, Eppo better wake up. Tzavela should have been binned at Brazil 14.
Well, he was the one who's being disruptive. I didn't remember until one of you guys said it.
Yeah,
Was it
no, it was
Lambro
like-
who said it, or Costa?
It
who
was
said
like
it?
him starting shit with Socrate. I think it was Lambro. Yeah.
Yeah. No. He caused a lot of issues in that dressing room. That's one of the reasons why we nearly got knocked out in the group stage. You know, we were dreadful until the Ivory Coast game where we finally switched on and left it to the last bloody game again to win. Yeah.
He was
What's that, Vimo? What's that?
Tavelas wasn't even the starter. He was
No.
Holebas' his backup, never saw the field. And this guy's now the starting center back over the two guys that carried that team in 2014. Oh, just
Yeah, it was about PAOK and Olympiacos. Guys, we're gonna wrap it up as the game is getting ready to go. I've got to throw down the old TV here. We will go live again after the game. We'll have the podcast going on, and then the full episode will come out tomorrow morning if you're in North America, and afternoon if you're in Europe. So keep an eye out for that. Vimo, Steven, thanks very much for joining. Final predictions for the game. Steven, I think you said 2-0 already.
I did. And I
Vimo?
stayed by that.
I think I said 8 at one point.
I
I mean, if Spain's bench is going to beat Germany by 6, what hope is there?
Bro, if we get beat 8-0 on Greek Independence Day, that is a sad, sad way to go out. I hope that doesn't happen, but I'm not much more optimistic. I think I said 3-0.
My realistic guess.
All right. Well, I'm being told by Costa that the national anthems are playing, so we're going to wrap it up. Thank you, everybody, for hopping by and saying hi. Thanks for the questions. Enjoy the game as much as you can, and we'll chat more afterwards.
You just listened to an episode of the Gate 7 International Podcast, a podcast connecting Olympiacos fans from Brussels to Tokyo, from Toronto to Geneva. We are 4 Olympiacos fans from every corner of the world, bringing you news and interviews of the team you love in English. With new episodes twice a week, you'll never miss out on the latest updates and stories of the team you love. If you liked what you heard, make sure to follow us on social media at Gate7INTL. Give us a subscribe on YouTube or even leave a review on all our podcast channels. Until next time, this is our team, our city and our story. Θρύλος είσαι. Στο μυαλό κάτι μαγικό.